How did a small misunderstanding blow up your entire family atmosphere? I'd been planning this brunch for 3 months. My 4 cousins and I grew up spending every summer together at Riverside Park, and we'd been talking about meeting at the old cafe near the main gate since January. We picked the date, locked it in, and everyone confirmed twice. I got there first with my cousin Becca and my cousin Lena. We walked up to the main entrance and stopped cold. The cafe had scaffolding wrapped around the front, and a handwritten sign taped to the gate said, "Closed for renovations, back in 2 weeks." Becca groaned. "You have got to be kidding me." "They could have posted that online," Lena said, already pulling out her phone. I checked the group chat. Our other cousin Renee had texted 10 minutes earlier saying she was running late from her shift at the hospital. My cousin Danny hadn't posted anything yet. "The food trucks are still here," Becca said, pointing down the path. "Remember the taco stand we used to hit every weekend?" I nodded. "Let's just go there. It's like 2 minutes away." We walked down the stone path toward the cluster of food trucks parked along the west side of the park. The taco stand was still there. Same faded yellow awning, same smell of grilled onions and lime. We ordered, grabbed a picnic table under the trees, and I snapped a quick selfie of the three of us holding our plates. I posted it in the group chat with the caption, "Cafe's closed, but we found the good stuff," and a pin of our location. I figured everyone would see it. Danny and Renee both had their notifications on. We ate and caught up. Lena told a story about her boss. Becca showed us pictures from her trip to Portland. My phone sat on the table, screen down. Then it buzzed twice. 2 calls back to back. I picked it up and saw Danny's name. Before I could call her back, the texts started coming in. "Are you serious right now? I've been standing at the cafe for 15 minutes. I saw your picture. You're all together already. You couldn't wait 10 minutes? I stared at the screen. Becca leaned over. "What's wrong?" "I called you twice," Danny's next message said. "I guess you were too busy." I hit the call button. It rang 4 times and went to voicemail. "Danny, hey, the cafe's closed," I said into the phone. "We posted in the chat. We're at the food trucks. Just walk down the west path. You'll see us." I hung up and checked the group chat again. The pin was right there under the photo. Clear as anything. Another text came through. "I stood there like an idiot while you all took pictures without me. I got the hint. I'm going home." My stomach dropped. "She's leaving." Lena frowned. "What? Why?" I tried calling again. It went straight to voicemail this time. Becca grabbed my phone and read the messages. "We posted where we were." She didn't check the chat. "She said she called twice," I said. "I didn't hear it." "Your phone was on the table the whole time," Lena said. "It didn't ring." I scrolled up. The calls had come in 3 minutes apart. My phone must have been on silent. I checked. It was. "This is ridiculous," Becca said. "She's acting like we ditched her on purpose." I typed back. "Danny, please come back. We didn't see your calls. The cafe was closed when we got here. We're still here. Please." The message showed as delivered, then read. No response. I put the phone down. My food was getting cold. Lena picked at her taco. Becca stared at the trees. "She really just left?" Lena asked quietly. I nodded. We sat there for another 20 minutes. Renee finally showed up, out of breath and apologizing for being late. I had to explain what happened. She pulled out her phone, read through the chat, and looked at me like I'd just told her someone died. "She didn't even check the messages?" Renee asked. "Apparently not." Renee texted Danny privately. No response. We finished eating, but nobody talked much after that. I kept checking my phone. Nothing. When we finally packed up to leave, I had one new message from Danny. "Hope you all had fun." I sent her another text as soon as I got home, a long one. I explained the scaffolding, the closed cafe, the food trucks, the photo with the pin. I wrote that I was so sorry I didn't hear the calls, that my phone was on silent by accident, that we would have waited if we'd known she was there. I hit send and watched the status change to delivered, then read. Nothing came back. I waited an hour, then 2. I checked the chat. Becca and Lena had both sent their own messages. Renee posted a heart emoji and wrote, "Miss you, call me." Danny didn't respond to any of it. I tried calling again before bed. Voicemail. The next morning, my phone rang while I was making coffee. I grabbed it fast, thinking it was Danny. It wasn't. "Hey, sweetie," my Aunt Fran said. Her voice had that careful tone she used when she was about to deliver bad news. "I wanted to check in with you about yesterday." I set the coffee pot down. "Did Danny call you?" "She came over last night. She was really upset." "I know, I've been texting her. I tried to explain what happened." "She told me," Fran said. "She said you all changed plans and didn't tell her." "That's not what happened. The cafe was closed. We posted where we were going." She didn't check the chat. Fran was quiet for a second. "She feels like this always happens to her." "What always happens?" "Being left out. Forgotten. She brought up Rebecca's birthday party when you were all 12, and that trip to the beach house when she couldn't come because of her mom's work schedule. She said she's always been the last pick." I leaned against the counter. "Aunt Fran, we didn't leave her out. We posted a photo with our location. We were 10 feet away from where we said we'd meet. She just had to walk down the path." "I know, honey. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just telling you what she's feeling." "She won't answer my calls. She's hurt. Give her a little time." I hung up and stared at my phone. The birthday party she mentioned was 15 years ago. Becca's mom had mailed invitations to everyone except Danny because Danny's address was wrong in her contact book. Danny found out 2 days before the party when another cousin mentioned it at school. We all felt terrible. Becca hand-delivered a new invitation that same afternoon. Danny came to the party. We thought it was fine. Apparently it wasn't. My phone buzzed. A text from Lena in a private thread with just the 2 of us. "Is Danny still ignoring you?" "Yeah," I typed back. "My aunt just called. She's really upset." "I feel bad, but this is kind of ridiculous. We didn't do anything wrong." I didn't respond right away. Another text came through. I'm tired of walking on eggshells with her. Every time we make plans, I'm scared someone's going to say the wrong thing and she'll spiral. I put the phone down. I didn't want to agree with her out loud, but part of me knew what she meant. Last summer, Danny got upset because we planned a movie night and picked a film she'd already seen. She said it proved we didn't think about her when we made decisions. We switched movies. She came. She barely talked the whole night. I picked up my phone again and opened a voice message instead of typing. I wanted her to hear my voice, to know I wasn't just firing off a quick text. Danny, hey, it's me. I just want to walk you through what happened yesterday, okay? We got to the cafe at 11. The gate was locked. There was a sign saying it was closed for renovations. We didn't know. Nobody knew. We walked to the food trucks because they were right there and we used to love that taco stand. I took a picture and posted it in the group chat with a location pin at 11:10. You called at 11:15 and 11:18. My phone was on silent. I didn't see it. I swear I didn't see it. As soon as I saw your text, I called you back. I left a voicemail. I tried again. You didn't answer. I don't know what else I could have done in that moment. I'm so sorry you felt left out. That was never the plan. Please call me back. I sent it and watched the status. Delivered. Read. 10 minutes later, a text came through. I know you didn't mean to, but that doesn't change how it felt. I stared at the message. I stood there for 15 minutes thinking you all forgot about me. Again, when I saw the picture, I felt like I was 12 years old at Rebecca's party all over again. Like I don't matter enough to double check. I don't care about the logistics. I care about how it made me feel. I typed back. I understand. I really do. But we posted where we were. You were invited. You've always been invited. The message stayed on delivered for a long time, then read. No response. Becca texted the group chat that afternoon. Can we all just get together this weekend and talk this out? Renee replied, I'm free Saturday. Lena wrote, I'm in. I added, me too. Danny didn't respond. Saturday came and went. Danny never responded to the group chat. By Sunday night, the silence felt heavier than the argument. My mom called Monday morning while I was getting ready for work. I heard what happened with the brunch, she said. I stopped brushing my teeth. Who told you? Fran mentioned it. She's worried about Danny. I'm worried about Danny too. She won't talk to me. Maybe you could try one more time, just to smooth things over. I rinsed my mouth and stared at myself in the mirror. I've already apologized. Twice. I sent a voice message explaining everything. What else am I supposed to do? I know, honey, but sometimes people just need to hear it again. It's not about being right. It's about keeping the peace. I gripped the edge of the sink. So I'm supposed to keep apologizing for something I didn't do wrong? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe it's worth reaching out one more time if it helps her feel better. I told her I had to go and hung up. The next message came from my cousin Renee in a private thread. She'd forwarded a screenshot. It was from a group chat I wasn't in, one Danny had started 2 years ago with some of our other cousins. The message was from Danny, dated 6 months back. Someone had suggested a group trip to the mountains. Danny had written, I'm sure they'll plan it without asking me what dates work, just like always. Renee's text underneath said, she does this with everything. I didn't realize how often until I went back through. I scrolled up. There were more screenshots. Comments Danny had made about feeling excluded from a baby shower planning chat, about not being tagged in a family photo someone posted, about how nobody ever asked her opinion before picking restaurants. I put my phone down and closed my eyes. That night, I opened Instagram and saw Danny had posted a story. It was a quote on a pastel background. Sometimes you outgrow people who never valued you in the first place. I screenshotted it and sent it to Becca. She replied immediately. Are you kidding me right now? She's really doing this, I wrote back. So now we're the villains because her phone didn't ring loud enough? I didn't know what to say to that. Wednesday morning, a girl I went to high school with messaged me. Hey, is everything okay with you and Danny? She posted something kind of intense. I stared at the message. She wasn't even close with Danny. She'd probably seen the story and decided to ask me directly instead of just wondering. I typed back, we had a miscommunication at brunch. It's fine. It wasn't fine. Another message came in an hour later. This one from a mutual friend who'd been at our cousin's wedding last year. Saw Danny's post. You good? I didn't respond to that one. By Thursday, I'd drafted 3 different apology messages to Danny and deleted all of them. The first one was long. I walked through the whole day again. Apologized for the phone being on silent. Acknowledged that it must have felt terrible to stand there alone, and promised I'd never let it happen again. I deleted it because I realized I'd already said all of that. Saying it again wouldn't change anything. The second one was shorter. I'm sorry you're hurting. I never wanted that. Can we please talk? I deleted it because it felt like I was apologizing for her feelings instead of my actions, and I didn't know how to separate the two anymore. The third one just said, I miss you. I deleted it because I wasn't sure it was true. I missed the version of Danny who laughed at inside jokes and stayed up late talking about nothing. I didn't miss the version who turned every mistake into evidence of a conspiracy. Friday night, my family had dinner at my grandparents' house. I almost didn't go. I knew someone would bring it up. I was right. We were halfway through the meal when Aunt Fran looked at me from across the table and said, have you talked to Danny yet? I set my fork down. I've tried. She's not answering. She's really struggling with this. I know, I feel terrible. Maybe you could stop by her apartment just to check in. My mom jumped in. That's a good idea. Sometimes these things are easier face to face. I looked at Becca. She was staring at her plate, jaw tight. I don't think showing up at her door uninvited is going to help, I said carefully. She just needs to know you care, Fran said. I do care. I've sent her messages, I've called, I've apologized. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. You could try reaching out one more time. Something snapped. I already did, I said, louder than I meant to. I reached out the day it happened. I reached out the next day. I sent a voice message. I texted. I called. I explained everything. She read every single message and chose not to respond. At some point, that's on her. The table went quiet. Fran's face tightened. She's your cousin. I know she's my cousin, but I'm not responsible for how she interprets things that didn't happen the way she thinks they did. She feels left out. She wasn't left out. We posted where we were. She didn't check. That's not the same thing. My grandma cleared her throat. Maybe we should talk about something else. But Fran wasn't done. You don't understand what it's like for her. She's always felt like the odd one out in this family. That's not my fault, I said. My voice cracked. I've spent 15 years trying to make sure she feels included. We all have. And every time something goes even slightly wrong, it turns into proof that we don't care about her. I'm tired of being on trial for mistakes I didn't make. Becca looked up. She does this with everything. You know she does. Fran turned to her. That's not fair. It's true, Becca said. Last summer, she got upset because we watched a movie she'd already seen. 2 years ago, she cried because we planned a beach day and didn't ask her what time worked best, even though she said she was free all day. She finds a reason to be hurt no matter what we do. That's enough, my mom said quietly, but it wasn't enough. I'd been holding it in all week. I don't know how to fix this, I said, because the problem isn't what happened at brunch. The problem is that she's decided we don't care about her, and nothing I say is going to change her mind. Aunt Fran stood up. I think I should go. She left without finishing her dinner. My mom looked at me. You didn't have to say all that in front of everyone. Someone had to say it. I excused myself and went outside. My hands were shaking. Becca followed me a minute later and sat down on the porch steps next to me. That was bad, she said. I know, but you weren't wrong. I put my head in my hands. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If I keep apologizing, I'm admitting I did something wrong. If I stop, I'm the bad guy who doesn't care. You can't win, Becca said. That's the point. She doesn't want an apology. She wants proof that she was right to feel hurt. I looked at her. So what do? I don't know. We sat there until it got dark. My phone buzzed once. I checked it. It was a text from Lena. I heard about dinner. You okay? I didn't answer. I didn't answer Lena's text that night. I didn't know what to say. By the time I woke up Saturday morning, I had 4 more messages waiting. One from Renee. Call me when you can. One from my younger sister, Casey. Mom told me what happened at dinner. You good? One from a cousin I hadn't talked to in months. Heard things are rough right now. Thinking of you. And one from Lena. I need to tell you something. Can you talk? I called Lena first. She picked up on the second ring. Hey, what's going on? She was quiet for a second. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner, about Danny always finding a reason to be hurt. Okay, you're right. She does. And I should have said something a long time ago, but I didn't want to make things worse. I sat down on the edge of my bed. What do you mean? Remember my birthday party 3 years ago? The one at the Italian place? Yeah, Danny left halfway through. She told everyone she had a headache, but she pulled me aside in the bathroom first and said she was upset because I sat her at the end of the table instead of next to me. I closed my eyes. I remember you were stressed that night. I didn't know why. I spent the next week apologizing. I sent flowers. I wrote her a card. She finally texted me back and said she forgave me, but she needed space for a while. It took 2 months before she'd hang out with me one-on-one again. Lena, it gets worse. Last summer, when we all went to the lake house, she didn't talk to me for 2 days because I posted a group photo and forgot to tag her. I didn't even realize I'd forgotten. She said it proved I didn't think of her as part of the group. You're kidding. I'm not. And I apologized for that too. I always apologize. We all do. Because it's easier than dealing with the fallout if we don't. I rubbed my forehead. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because every time it happens, it feels like a one-time thing. Like maybe I really did mess up and hurt her feelings. But after what happened at brunch, I started going back through everything. And I realized it's not one time. It's every time. Every time what? Every time we do anything as a group, someone ends up apologizing to her. Someone always does something wrong. And we all just accept it because we don't want to be the person who makes her cry. I didn't say anything. I love her, Lena said. I do, but I'm tired. I'm so tired of being scared I'm going to say the wrong thing or forget to do something exactly right and have it turn into a 3-week crisis. I know. Do you think I'm a bad person for saying that? No? She let out a breath. Okay, good. Because I've been feeling like one all week. We talked for another 20 minutes. She told me about a group chat from 2 years ago where Danny had accused Becca of purposely excluding her from a girls' night, even though Becca had invited her and Danny had said she was busy. She told me about a Christmas dinner where Danny left early because someone made a joke she didn't find funny and nobody apologized fast enough. By the time we hung up, I felt sick. I opened my notes app and started writing things down. Every incident I could remember where Danny had been upset with one of us. Every apology. Every long text thread trying to smooth things over. The list got long fast. My family's annual barbecue was that Sunday. My grandma hosted it every year at her house, and everyone came. Aunts, uncles, cousins, second cousins, plus ones. It was the one event nobody skipped. I thought about not going. I knew Danny would be there, but staying home would have made everything worse. I showed up late, hoping I could slip in quietly. No such luck. The backyard was packed. Kids ran around with sparklers. Someone had set up a volleyball net. My uncle was manning the grill. I spotted Danny immediately. She was sitting at one of the picnic tables with Aunt Fran, her mom, and 2 of our older cousins. She saw me walk in. Our eyes met for half a second. Then she looked away and leaned closer to Fran, saying something I couldn't hear. Fran glanced at me and then back at Danny, nodding. Becca walked up next to me holding a plate of potato salad. This is going to be fun. She won't even look at me. Yeah, I noticed. She's been sitting there for the last hour doing the whole wounded thing. Fran keeps patting her arm. I grabbed a soda from the cooler and tried to act normal. I talked to my uncle about his new job. I helped my grandma carry a tray of burgers to the food table. I played a round of cornhole with some of the younger kids, but I could feel people watching me. My Aunt Carol gave me a tight smile when I walked past her. One of my older cousins, someone I barely knew, stopped me near the fence and asked if everything was okay. I said it was fine. She nodded, but she didn't look convinced. Danny stayed at that table the entire time. She didn't get up to eat. She didn't join the volleyball game. She just sat there, talking quietly with Fran and looking sad. I wanted to scream. Casey found me an hour in. She pulled me away from the group and walked me toward the side of the house where nobody could hear us. You need to fix this, she said. I've tried. She won't talk to me. I know, but you're losing the room. I stared at her. What? People are starting to think you're the problem. They see her sitting over there looking miserable, and they see you walking around acting like nothing happened. They're doing the math, and it's not adding up in your favor. I'm not acting like nothing happened. I'm trying not to make a scene. Well, it's not working. Aunt Fran's been telling people you yelled at her at dinner. Mom's been doing damage control, but half the family thinks you owe Danny an apology. For what? It doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't matter what actually happened. Danny's the one crying. You're the one who isn't. So you're the bad guy. I leaned against the fence. This is insane. I know, but that's how it works. If you don't say something soon, this is going to be the story everyone remembers. That you ditched Danny at brunch and then refused to make it right. That's not what happened. I know that. You know that. But does everyone else? I looked back toward the yard. Danny was still at the table. Fran had her arm around her shoulders now. What am I supposed to do? I asked. Walk over there and apologize in front of everyone? I don't know. But staying silent isn't helping. She's controlling the narrative and you're letting her. Casey squeezed my arm and walked back toward the party. I stayed by the fence for another few minutes, trying to figure out what to do. My phone buzzed. A text from Renee. Can you come to the front yard? I walked around the side of the house and found her standing by her car. I can't stay, she said. I have a shift in an hour, but I wanted to talk to you before I left. Okay. I saw the way people are looking at you in there. It's not fair. Casey already told me. Danny's doing this on purpose. You know that, right? I didn't answer. She's sitting there playing the victim because she knows it works. And everyone's falling for it because they'd rather believe you messed up than deal with the fact that she's manipulating the situation. I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Then you're not paying attention. Renee pulled out her phone and opened a text thread. Look at this. It was a message from Danny sent 2 days ago. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Every time I try to be part of this family, someone reminds me I don't really belong. She sent that to me, Lena, and 2 other cousins. Not you, not Becca. Just the people she thinks will feel sorry for her. I stared at the screen. She's not hurt, Renee said. She's angry, and she's making sure everyone knows it's your fault. She got in her car and drove away. I walked back to the party. Danny was still at the table. Fran was still next to her, and I was still standing on the outside, watching my family choose sides. I left the barbecue early. I told my grandma I wasn't feeling well, which wasn't exactly a lie. I sat in my car for 10 minutes before I started the engine, staring at the house through the windshield while people laughed and ate and pretended everything was fine. I drove home and sat on my couch with my phone in my hand. I opened the text thread with Danny and stared at the last message I'd sent, the one she'd read and never answered. I started typing. I know you're upset. I know you don't want to talk to me right now, but I need to see you in person. Not to argue, just to talk. Please. I deleted it. I tried again. Can we meet somewhere this week? I think we need to have a real conversation about what happened and where we go from here. I almost hit send. Then I read it again and realized it sounded like I was breaking up with her. I put the phone down and closed my eyes. The next morning, I woke up and wrote the message before I could overthink it. I want to talk to you face to face, not over text. I think we owe each other that. Let me know when you're free this week. I hit send before I could stop myself. The message stayed on delivered for 3 hours. Then it changed to read. Nothing came back. I made myself wait. I went to work. I answered emails. I ate lunch at my desk and pretended I wasn't checking my phone every 5 minutes. By the time I got home that night, there was still no response. I opened the text thread again and typed one more message. I'm not willing to let this keep going the way it's going. I care about you too much to leave this broken. If you don't want to meet, that's your choice. But I'm asking you to give me one conversation. That's all. I sent it and put my phone face down on the coffee table. It buzzed 20 minutes later. Fine. Wednesday at 2, the coffee shop on Maple. I'll listen to what you have to say. But I'm only coming because I think you owe me an apology. I stared at the message. My hands were shaking. I typed back. I'll be there. Wednesday felt like it took a week to arrive. I spent Monday night lying awake, running through different versions of what I wanted to say. I tried writing it down, but every draft sounded either too harsh or too weak. Tuesday morning, I texted Lena. I'm meeting Danny tomorrow. I need to know if I'm being fair or if I'm about to make everything worse. She called me instead of texting back. What are you planning to say? She asked. I'm going to apologize for the brunch, for my phone being on silent, for not realizing she was standing there alone. But I'm also going to tell her that I can't keep apologizing for things I didn't do wrong. That every time something goes even slightly off plan, it turns into proof that we don't care about her, and that I don't know how to fix that. Lena was quiet for a second. Are you sure you want to say all that? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, honest answer? Someone needed to say this to her years ago. We've all been tiptoeing around it because we didn't want to hurt her feelings. And it's gotten to the point where some of us don't even want to plan things if she's going to be there. Because we know someone's going to do something wrong and she's going to spend the next month making us pay for it. I sat down on the edge of my bed. Really? Yes, really. Last month, Becca told me she almost didn't invite Danny to her engagement party because she didn't want to deal with the fallout if something went wrong. She invited her anyway, but the fact that she even thought about not inviting her, that's how bad it's gotten. I didn't know that. Nobody wants to say it out loud, but it's true. And if you don't say something now, it's just going to keep happening. She'll find another reason to be upset. You'll apologize. We'll all apologize. And nothing will change. What if she just walks out? Then she walks out, but at least you'll know you tried. We hung up. I sat there staring at the wall for a long time. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the conversation in my head, trying to figure out how to say what I needed to say without sounding cruel. I didn't want to hurt her. I just wanted her to understand that I couldn't keep doing this. By the time Wednesday morning came, I'd rehearsed it so many times that the words didn't even sound like words anymore. I got to the coffee shop 15 minutes early. I ordered a black coffee I didn't want and sat at a table by the window. My leg bounced under the table. I checked my phone. No new messages. Danny walked in at 2 minutes past 2. She saw me and hesitated near the door. For a second, I thought she was going to leave. Then she walked over and sat down across from me without ordering anything. Hey, I said. Hey. She didn't look at me. She stared at the table, arms crossed. I took a breath. Thank you for coming. You said you wanted to talk, so talk. Her voice was flat, cold. I wrapped my hands around the coffee cup. I want to start by saying I'm sorry. For the brunch. For my phone being on silent. For not seeing your calls. For not realizing you were standing there alone. I never wanted you to feel that way. And I'm so sorry that you did. She nodded once, still not looking at me. Okay, but I also need to say something else. Her jaw tightened. I can't keep apologizing for things I didn't do wrong. And I can't keep being on trial for every mistake that happens, even when it's not my fault. She looked up. What's that supposed to mean? It means that the cafe was closed. We posted where we were. You didn't check the chat. And somehow that turned into proof that we don't care about you. That's not fair. I called you twice. I know. My phone was on silent. I didn't hear it. That was an accident. But you didn't check the group chat. You didn't walk 2 minutes down the path to where we were. You just decided we'd left you out on purpose and went home. Her face flushed. Because that's what it felt like. I know. But feelings aren't facts. We didn't leave you out. You felt left out. Those are two different things. She stared at me. So now you're telling me my feelings are wrong? I'm telling you that your feelings are based on something that didn't happen. And every time something goes even slightly wrong, you assume the worst about us. The birthday party when we were 12, the movie night, the beach trip, Lena's party. Every single time someone ends up apologizing to you for something they didn't mean to do, and you hold on to it for years. Because it keeps happening. No. What keeps happening is that you interpret every mistake as a personal attack. And we all spend so much energy trying to make sure you don't get hurt that we're exhausted. She stood up. I don't have to sit here and listen to this. Yes, you do. Because if you walk out right now, this is never going to get better. And I don't want to lose you, but I can't keep doing this. She stayed standing, hands gripping the back of the chair. I love you, I said. You're my cousin, your family, but I can't be responsible for managing your feelings every time something doesn't go perfectly. I can apologize when I actually do something wrong, but I can't apologize for things I didn't do just to make you feel better. Her eyes were wet. You don't understand what it's like. Then help me understand, because right now all I see is someone who's convinced that nobody cares about her, no matter how many times we prove that we do. She wiped her face with the back of her hand and sat back down. Neither of us said anything for a long time. Danny sat back down slowly. She kept her arms crossed, but her shoulders dropped a little. I don't know how to stop feeling this way, she said quietly. I'm not asking you to stop feeling anything. I'm asking you to check before you assume the worst. That's all. She stared at the table. It's not that simple. I know it's not, but it's not simple for us either. Every time we plan something, we're scared we're going to mess up and you're going to decide we don't care about you. And that's not fair to anyone. She looked up. You think I'm trying to make you feel that way? I think you're so convinced you're going to be left out that you look for proof everywhere. And when you find it, you don't stop to ask if there's another explanation. You just decide we hurt you on purpose. Her face crumpled. I've always been the one who doesn't quite fit. You all had each other growing up. I was the one who lived across town. The one whose mom worked weekends. The one who missed half the summers because we couldn't afford the trips. I know. And I'm not saying that didn't hurt, but we're not 12 anymore. And the people who love you now aren't the ones who left you out back then. It feels the same. Because you're making it the same. You're taking something that happened when we were kids and using it to explain everything that happens now. And at some point, that stops being about what we did and starts being about what you expect us to do. She wiped her eyes again. So now I'm supposed to just get over it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe you could give us the benefit of the doubt before you decide we betrayed you. She didn't answer right away. She looked out the window. A couple walked past holding hands. Someone's dog barked down the street. I didn't check the group chat, she said finally. I saw your picture and I just assumed you'd all gotten there early and started without me. Why would we do that? I don't know, because it's happened before. When? She hesitated. Rebecca's birthday. That was a mistake. Her mom had the wrong address. She hand-delivered a new invitation as soon as she found out. I know, but it still felt like I didn't matter enough to double-check. You were 12. We were all 12. And we fixed it. You came to the party. We thought it was okay. It wasn't okay. I spent the whole party feeling like I was only there because someone felt bad for me. I leaned forward. Danny, nobody thought that. We wanted you there. We always wanted you there. But you decided that one mistake meant something bigger, and you've been holding on to it ever since. She looked at me. You don't know what that felt like. You're right. I don't. But I know what it feels like to apologize over and over for something I didn't do wrong and still feel like it's never enough. Her jaw tightened. So now you're the victim? I'm not trying to be the victim. I'm trying to tell you that this pattern hurts both of us. You feel left out. I feel like I'm constantly failing you, and neither of us is happy. She pressed her palms flat against the table. I don't know how to fix this. Neither do I. But I think the first step is admitting that we both played a part in how it got this bad. She shook her head. I didn't do anything wrong at the brunch. You didn't check the chat. You didn't walk down the path. You called twice and then gave up and went home. You could have done any of those things and this whole mess would have been over in 5 minutes. My phone rang. You didn't answer. Because it was on silent. By accident. Not because I was ignoring you. How am I supposed to know that? Because you know me. Because we've been family our whole lives. Because assuming I'd ignore you on purpose doesn't make sense unless you've already decided I don't care. She stared at me. Her eyes were red. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with you either, but I need you to understand that I can't keep apologizing for things that aren't my fault just to make you feel better. It's not fair to me, and it's not helping you. She looked down. So what are you saying? That I need to just stop being hurt when things like this happen? I'm saying you need to stop assuming things like this are happening on purpose. There's a difference between someone hurting you by accident and someone hurting you because they don't care. And you've been treating every accident like it's proof we don't care. She didn't say anything for a long time. She picked at the edge of the table. Her breathing was shaky. I don't know how to tell the difference anymore, she said finally. I don't know how to stop feeling like I'm always on the outside. Then maybe you need to work on that. Not by yourself. Maybe with someone who can help you figure out why you feel that way. But I can't do it for you. None of us can. Her face flushed. So now you're telling me I need therapy? I'm telling you that this pattern isn't just hurting you. It's hurting all of us. And if you don't do something about it, you're going to lose people who love you. She looked up sharply. Is that a threat? It's not a threat. It's the truth. Becca almost didn't invite you to her engagement party because she was scared something would go wrong and you'd spend the next month making her pay for it. Lena's exhausted. Renee sent me screenshots of messages you sent her about feeling left out that I wasn't even part of. We're all walking on eggshells around you and it's not sustainable. Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked like I'd slapped her. I didn't know that, she said quietly. Because nobody wants to hurt your feelings. But we're all thinking it. And if we don't talk about it now, it's just going to keep getting worse until nobody wants to deal with it anymore. She wiped her face with both hands. I don't want that. Then you have to meet us halfway. You have to stop assuming the worst. You have to check before you spiral. You have to trust that we love you, even when things don't go perfectly. She nodded slowly. I'm sorry. For what? For not checking the chat. For leaving. For making this bigger than it needed to be. I felt something loosen in my chest. Thank you. I'm also sorry for the post. The one about outgrowing people. That was petty. It was. She almost smiled. You saw that? Everyone saw that. She covered her face with her hands. I was so angry. I know. She dropped her hands. I really did feel like you all forgot about me. I know, and I'm sorry my phone was on silent. I should have checked it sooner. I should have called you back the second I saw the text instead of waiting. That's on me. She nodded. Okay. We sat there for a while. The coffee shop was almost empty. Someone wiped down tables in the corner. The espresso machine hissed. Where do we go from here? She asked. I don't know. I think we both need to try harder. You need to pause before you assume we're hurting you on purpose. I need to be more careful about checking in. And we both need to stop letting things build up until they explode. She looked at me. Do you think we can do that? I think we have to try. She picked up a napkin from the table and twisted it in her hands. I don't want to lose you. You're not going to lose me, but I need you to work with me. I can't do this by myself. She nodded. Okay. She stood up. I should go. I have to be at work in an hour. I stood too. Can I hug you? She hesitated, then nodded. I hugged her. She was stiff at first. Then she hugged me back. When we pulled apart, her eyes were still wet. I'll try, she said. I really will. That's all I'm asking. She walked out. I sat back down and stared at my cold coffee. My phone buzzed a few minutes later. A text from Danny. Thank you for not giving up on me. I typed back. I never would. Over the next few weeks, things were careful. Danny texted the group chat more often, but her messages were surface level. Becca posted about her engagement party, and Danny replied with a heart emoji and nothing else. Lena suggested another brunch, and everyone said yes, including Danny, but the conversation felt polite instead of easy. We met at a diner 2 weeks later, all 5 of us. Nobody talked about what happened. We ordered food and caught up on work and plans and normal things. Danny laughed at a story Renee told. She asked Becca about wedding venues. She seemed okay, but I could feel the edges of it. The way everyone was a little too careful. The way nobody suggested splitting up to order or changing locations halfway through. The way we all checked the group chat 3 times to make sure everyone saw every message. I texted Lena that night. Did today feel weird to you? A little, she wrote back. But I think that's just how it's going to be for a while. Do you think it'll get better? I don't know, I hope so. I put my phone down and stared at the ceiling. I didn't know either. I didn't know if Danny would really work on pausing before she spiraled, or if the next time something went wrong, we'd be right back where we started. I didn't know if saying everything out loud had fixed the problem, or just made everyone more aware of how fragile things were. I knew I'd done what I needed to do. I'd told her the truth. I'd asked her to meet me halfway, and she'd said she would try. But I also knew that trying wasn't the same as succeeding, and that some patterns ran too deep to fix with one honest conversation. I hoped we'd figure it out. I hoped the next brunch would feel a little easier. I hoped we'd get back to the version of us that used to laugh until we cried and stay up too late talking about nothing.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your favorite part in the comments. See you in the next one.